the audio here. It looks like we're good. Welcome, everybody. My name is Chris Barr, the Director of Marketing for Taradel, and I am back again for Business for Breakfast. This is the daily live stream where we go over business, marketing, sales, any type of really sales related tips or best practices, or kind of just general discussion that will benefit our supporters and customers and really the business community at large. And the goal every day is to provide information that you can take and apply to your marketing that day to drive sales and customer engagement. So today we've got, I think, a really cool live stream planned. We're going to talk about the 14 most important direct mail marketing tips. We're going to cover everything from planning your campaign to putting together a great offer, and then what do you do after you mail your direct mail marketing materials out to prospective customers. So there's 14 items that I think are absolutely critical. These 14 direct mail tips will really help you avoid costly errors. It happens way too often that a small business owner or an advertiser will launch a direct mail campaign and say, you know what, I forgot to put the right URL on the direct mail piece, or I should have done a more aggressive offer, or things like that. So there's a lot of very costly errors that you can avoid just by sticking to these 14 tips. So one thing I want to mention is that after this live stream is complete, there is a copy of this direct mail marketing checklist that we have available absolutely free on our website. So you don't have to take notes here or anything like that. After the live stream where we discuss these items, you'll be able to go get the checklist. You can just download it right off the web. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one is to determine your goal. So when you're doing direct mail or any other marketing for that matter, the most important thing you can do is determine your goal, right? So we're doing this campaign to accomplish X. Maybe that's increase awareness, promote a grand opening, drive sales, get more people in the door. Whatever your goal is, that needs to be outlined from the start, and the direct mail piece should be focused on helping you attain that goal. Okay? So make sure that your goal is tied to a single specific action that the user should take. So if you want to drive sales by phone, make sure your phone number is the call to action on your direct mail pieces. If you want them to visit your website, make sure that they know, go to oursite.com/promo or offer or something like that, and make that the goal, and make sure that is articulated very clearly with the call to action on your direct mail piece. Okay. The other thing you'll want to do, and this ties into the planning phase, is set a budget and timeline. So if you need to reach your entire zip code, for example, let's say you're a small business, a brick and mortar location, and you want to reach an entire zip code. Well, if your budget is only $1,000 for the entire campaign, you may not be able to do that. But if your budget is $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000, you might be able to reach everybody. So depending on your budget, you need to strategically decide how are we going to move forward in terms of, what are we going to mail out, what geographic areas or what, prospective customer demographic makes the most sense. You always want to build your campaign and optimize every element of it. So for every dollar you spend towards marketing, you want to maximize the potential ROI that comes back from that spend. So in some cases, you may not be able to do the whole zip code, but you can reach the most targeted, most ideal prospects within the zip code. Initially, and then later on, as you grow your business and grow your marketing budget, you can reach everybody. So it's really important to have a campaign budget and then also a timeline. So, we need these offers to be in mailboxes on, April 1 or, March 15th or whatever it is. So make sure that you have a budget and a timeline, and that both of those things are non-negotiable parts of your campaign, so that you stay on track. Another part of the planning phase is analyzing your competitors. So it's amazing how much free information about your competitors is out there. And all you have to do is look at their website, follow their social media, check your mailbox. Are they sending out offers? If so, what are they doing? And look at the competitors that are the most successful in your market. Look at what they're doing. What kind of offers are they using? What's their messaging? Are they promoting, we've got the best customer service? Are they promoting the lowest prices? Are they saying that they've got, the best overall value? Find out where the weak links in their messaging are. So if they're all about price, you may want to focus on the best service, the best quality, right? Differentiate yourself, and all you have to do to get that type of basic information is look at their website and the messaging and communications they put out there. It's very easy to do that. You can create a simple, evaluation chart where you say, okay, what are the 3 to 5 things that my company stands for and promotes, and what are the 3 to 5 things that each of my competitors stands for and promotes, and then find out, okay, where's the opportunity when I look at this big picture. So those are easy things that anybody can do. You should also develop a lead follow-up plan. So in some cases, this may not work, but in most cases, your marketing will generate sales leads. So maybe these are people that sign up at your website. Maybe these are people that call you but don't buy anything. Whatever the case may be, if you're bringing traffic to your business, whether it's in-store or online, it doesn't really matter. You want to make sure that you have a plan. Okay, for every lead that I generate, here is step 1, step 2, step 3. You want to have a systematic process that is the same, at least in basic format, the same for everybody, so that you'll know, okay, for every lead I bring in, here's exactly what's going to happen. Nobody's going to slip through the cracks, and I'm not going to waste any money or marketing dollars bringing in new leads that there's no follow-up plan for. So the most important thing you do is treat every single lead that you generate from your marketing like gold, because essentially they are, right? New customers are the lifeline or the lifeblood of your business. You've got to treat them in the most absolutely professional manner possible, and make sure that process is optimized to ultimately convert that lead into a paying customer. You'll also want to determine your response tracking methodology. You'll want to do this ahead of time. So if you want to generate phone calls, sales calls from your direct mail marketing, you may want to look at using a call tracking 800 number. For a very low cost, you can now set up 888 or 800 numbers, 855 numbers, and with that, you would basically put that number on the direct mail postcard or flyer, and then anybody that calls you, you're going to be able to track that call. You can record it. You can download a spreadsheet of all their call details. And that's really, really important, because if you're just getting calls left and right every day for your business and you don't know what the source of that call is, one, you don't know how to properly treat them, right? So if somebody comes from a direct mail campaign, there might be a special offer they're calling about for that particular campaign. Whereas if they just found you online organically through Google, that might be a different conversation. So make sure that you have a really good way to track the response, whether that's a specific URL or a phone number. Make sure you've got a way to track the response. Okay, so now we get more into the creative side of things. with direct mail and really with any type of advertising, the most important element there is the call to action, the offer, right? So if you think about most advertisements, there's a kind of bright light shining offer associated with it. 20% off or buy one get one free. It could be anything, but whatever that call to action is, you need to make sure that it's as aggressive as possible. It's very easy to redeem it, and that all of the messaging around that offer, so the sales copy, is focused on the benefits. So everything should be driving that prospective customer towards the exact same goal. Get this offer, redeem it, and then here's how. So again, the offer is the most important thing in the world. If you don't have a great offer, your response rates will drop dramatically. And if you have a great offer, they'll increase dramatically. So for example, if you do let's say, you're let's say in a quick automotive, oil service center or something like that. If you do an offer that says free oil change with any, brake work, you're going to get a much higher response rate than if you just say 10% off any brake work. Because that free offer is a very powerful message, and you can assign a definitive value to it. So 10% off could be anything, right? If your price is $1,000 for, brake service, that's $100. But the customer doesn't know what that value is, inherently, right? They have to say, okay, well, 10% off is a pretty good value, but it really depends, and who knows what they'll charge me, all that kind of stuff. But if you say you get a free oil change, one, that's really convenient for the customer because then they can knock out the brake work and the oil change all at once. They know an oil change might usually cost them 30, 40, 50 bucks. So they know there's a true value with that. And it's also great for their vehicle, right? The car that they love, or that they count on to get them to work or transport their family. You're adding a sense of well-being to them, right? Okay, I got my oil change done. My car is going to run great. I don't have to put that off again. So make sure you really focus on the offer. What's going to drive the audience that you're going after to take action, right? Tailor it for that audience. Then you also want to, and I kind of hit on this earlier, but you want to develop sales copy that kind of builds that offer up, right? So sales copy, I usually say, if they're, write your sales copy and then go back and delete half of it, right? You should have no filler whatsoever in your sales copy. It should be things like benefits, 100% satisfaction guaranteed, delivered within 48 hours, anything that you think will support your business, help differentiate your business, and reassure the customer. Those are all great, examples of sales copy that you can use to help drive a response. You don't want to get into lengthy paragraphs or descriptions or stories. With direct mail, you need to make an impression, win over the customer in terms of their perception of your business and offer, and get them to take action. So this all has to happen really quick. When someone's looking through their mail, you've got a couple seconds to make that impression. So a big long story is not going to do it. You need a big, powerful offer and supporting copy that is going to tie it all together. Next, we go to the creative side of things. So the creative is always very subjective. So, while one person might like a design, somebody else may think it's unattractive. That's never going to change. But what you can do is drive the creative in terms of the approach and the look and feel. Drive it, towards the demographic or the audience that you're targeting. So let's say you run a medical practice and you specialize in pediatric medical care. Well, you know that your target audience is going to be parents of children because you employ pediatricians, right? That's the business. So the images that you use in your marketing should be reflective of that. So if you service mainly, middle income, middle class type families, maybe make sure that the images, the pictures of the people and the services look familiar to them, right? So you don't want it to, have a picture of a family that, lives in some mega mansion or something like that. If you're, typically serving families that live, in 2,000 square foot homes that make $70,000 a year or whatever it is. So you get where I'm going here. You want to make sure that the image that you put out there is how the consumer or the target prospect thinks of themselves, right? So I'm a hardworking mom or a hardworking dad with children. I'm busy. I, like to do, soccer on the weekends or play with my kids and be active outdoors. So those are the types of images you might want to use in your marketing. And, you can switch out the industry or the type of business or organization and just follow that same kind of pattern no matter what you do or who you serve. So just make sure with the creative that it's not overly distracting, but it has the right look and feel for the audience that you're targeting. The worst thing you can do is do kind of a creative approach that people or your target audience isn't familiar with or comfortable with. So once in a while, I'll see a medical practice show an image on the direct mail of some, new medical device or some, big kind of chair that the patient would sit in. And that can be very intimidating and uncomfortable. You don't want to, generally speaking, you don't want to do that. If you're a dental practice, you don't want to send out a direct mail postcard with a picture of a drill on it because you specialize in cavity work. That's not going to win anybody over. But if you send a picture of a friendly dentist with a happy patient, that's a much better look. So just keep all these things in mind when you're developing your creative. The other thing you want to do, and this is kind of a no-brainer, but it's amazing how often this gets missed, is verify all of your contact information, right? So if you plug your phone number on the piece, or add, your website URL or even your mailing address, it's almost so much of a habit. We use that information so much every day that it's incredibly easy to make a typo because you use it so often that you almost assume it's just going to be correct. But I've seen so many advertisers, put out marketing collateral that will have, 9 digits for a phone number instead of 10, or they're missing the third www. So just make sure you double check everything, triple check it, get somebody else to look at it, verify all of your contact information is correct. Because if that's not right, nobody can get in touch with you. All right. You also want to develop a web presence. So we live in a digital world. People look for products and services online. While direct mail drives more transactions than digital channels, and that's really inarguable. All of the latest data and research shows that direct mail gets people to actually transact, whereas digital is used more for research and communication. It's still really important to have a website because if people are interested in something they see in the mail, in a coupon or an offer, for example, a lot of times their first instinct now is to Google your business, see if you've got good reviews online, or you have a professional website where they can get to know more about you. So make sure that's in place. Even if you're not driving people to your website to transact or to convert into a lead, make sure you've got a great looking website with additional information that is going to help convert these people. The next thing we need to talk about is to prepare your matching support efforts. So marketing these days is, you've probably heard this word a million times, but it's integrated. So for example, let's say you're a local takeout restaurant. If you do a direct mail campaign to get your takeout menus into every mailbox, so let's say, I actually have one right here. Let's say you're a pizzeria and you want to send your takeout menu to everybody around your restaurant. and maybe you've got a bunch of great coupons on it and all of that. Well, it's a lot more powerful if you go on your social media accounts and say, hey, everybody, our new menu with new coupons is going to deliver this week. Keep your eye on the mailbox to get these great offers and save money on your next order. If you do that, you're planting the seed in your prospective customers' minds that, hey, I should expect a new menu from my favorite restaurant or the best pizza in town to arrive in my mailbox this week. That alone can help drive better response rates from your direct mail marketing. So, you could do a video on YouTube. You could update your website. You could use social media. You could, if you're doing paid search campaigns, you might want to promote the same type of message. That way, anywhere that prospective customer sees your business or your message, it's consistent, right? And if you think about the most successful companies out there, the big national or international brands, when Pizza Hut does a $10 any size pizza deal, you can't get away from it. It's in your email, it's on TV, it's on the radio, it's online. You see it during the Super Bowl maybe. So it's always consistent. And that consistency, the more you do that with these different channels, with that integrated approach, the effectiveness is, increases exponentially, right? So just doing one form of marketing isn't enough these days. While it can still produce results, you want to use that integrated approach so that you reach those prospects, no matter whether they're on their phone or looking at their mail or whatever. So that's really important. And then make sure you're prepared for launch. If you're promoting a particular product, for example, you want to make sure that you have enough inventory so that the week that your direct mail offers deliver into mailboxes, you're ready to go. Your staff shouldn't be hunting down, more inventory, or you shouldn't be negotiating with vendors. You should be ready to transact those customers, give them what they want, make it a great experience, no delays, no headaches. You just want to make sure all of that is buttoned up. And then the last step is that you need to know, in terms of data points, how did your marketing campaign perform? So let's say, for the month of February, your sales are $200,000 for the month. Well, after your direct mail campaign delivers into mailboxes, did that bottom line, increase by 50 or 100,000 the next month, right? Or the month that your campaign was active. So you'll want to know things like, out of every phone call I got, how many converted into a lead, and then how many of those leads converted into a sale. With your website, how many people, signed up for an account, and then how many of those converted into a sale. You need data points so that as you grow your business and grow your marketing effort, the decisions you make are based off real data. So the first time you do a marketing campaign, that basically establishes a control, right? Okay, for every $1 I invest in direct mail, I get $1.50 back or $3 back, whatever it is. Once you know that, and you know what the conversion rates are for lead generation and then also lead to closed customer, then you can really start testing different things and making gains, right? So without data, you're just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks and hoping it all works out. But with data, you can say, okay, when I do this, I get this result, or maybe this didn't work, but this worked great. So you always want to develop controls where with a high degree of confidence what the outcome will be, and then use those data points to test different things and see if you move the needle. And then every time you develop a strategy that beats your control, that new strategy that beat the control becomes your new control. So you never stop moving forward. You're always improving. You're always growing. And that's really how you find out, what works, what your customers like, and how you can do better and be a successful business. So those are the 14 tips, for direct mail marketing. Every single one of those is critical. If you work with a big time, ad agency, those are the types of things that they're going to do. when they plan a campaign for you. But anybody can do this on their own. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that we have a direct mail marketing checklist available for free for download. So here's a quick look at it. It's a very simple, checklist. When you're planning your next direct mail campaign, you just make sure you go down each one of these items, check it off, and after you do all of these, you'll be confident that you haven't made any, big time mistakes that can cost you a lot of money. This direct mail marketing checklist comes for free in our direct mail marketing success kit. If you want this, just go to everydoordirectmail.com. And when you get to the site, if you look at the top of the page in the header, there's a big link. You can't miss it in yellow. You just click on that and you can download a free copy of this. So this is really powerful. This has got all kinds of resources in it, from pricing to actual direct mail examples. And of course, the direct mail checklist is in there as well. So that's it for today. I hope you learned a little bit. If you need any support or help, we've got live chat on our website. You can call us any time of the day, and we're always here to help. But direct mail is a great way to grow your business. Strongly recommend it. And if you need help, you can chat with any of our team members, and we'll help you plan and launch the whole thing. It's a piece of cake. So we'll see you on Friday. It's almost the weekend, and hope you have a great day. Thank you.